Oh, it's yawning. So this is what I warn everybody about. Not flying too close to the wall. Yeah. See the LED that's blinking? Let's just switch this. Let's just switch it into Cine so we have more control. It could be a little ground effect when you fly here close to the ground. Let's just drop it here and see what is available in here. Let's put it over here for a sec. So let's just see what's in here. See what we can find here. Photo mode here. There's the AEB. Let's just try one of those. This is in the middle of the night, so yes. Let's do a single shot. Yes. Let's do a video. 4K, 30 FPS. Just a little one. Ooh, it's pretty fast for Cine. Cine, what is it called? I don't know. C mode. So let's just see what else there was in here. There's the quick shot modes. So see, we have the drone, we have the rocket, we have circle, we have helix, and we have boomerang. Those we will try out when it gets a little bit more light. So here is the panorama settings. We have a spherical panorama, we have 180, and we have wide angle. Let's just for the fun of it try this wide angle thing. See what it's doing. That's kind of annoying. Okay, so let's land it.
Landing.
Hello everybody, I just need to get this buzzer out of my ear. Okay, like that. So welcome to the stream. This is a test stream, basically, where I thought I would pick a topic. It's always good to talk about the Mini 2. And the reason why this is a test stream is because this new camera is an upgrade from using previously, what was I using? Maybe my webcam, my C922 from Logitech. I'm now using my mirrorless camera. So hopefully you could see a huge improvement in the picture quality. At least I hope that, because there's a significant price difference. It's probably the most expensive webcam that I ever had. So yeah. So let's see. We were talking low light footage with this Mini, and I'll get to the questions. Just keep asking questions in the comments there. Then we will take a tour down the chat to see if there's any questions that we can answer related to this. But I've been out testing this in low light performance, and I'm actually quite surprised how good it is. I did not expect much from a 1 or 2/3 sensor, but it's not good when it's absolutely pitch black, but when it's dawn, then it's or dusk, then it's actually quite capable of capturing some pretty nice footage. So let me show you a few examples here. So this clip that I'm gonna show you now is hidden somewhere here. I need to get rid of these headphones here because they keep disturbing me. So, okay, so I have, let's see here. This is just after the sunset. And as you can see, it's of course it's not dark there, but at least the sun was below the horizon, so it was starting to get dark. And this footage is 100% usable as far as I see. I think it's a pretty decent performance that you can get out of this camera at this time of day. So that was the first step that I did. Then on my way home, I stopped at another location to do a little bit more footage where the sun was even further down and was getting kind of dark. Let's just take this example. So let's see. And here it was crazy windy when I recorded this. We should start it. So, like this. I was fighting a wind a lot on this little trip. If I just took my hands off the sticks, then the drone will keep drifting towards this group of houses here on the side. So, but what I want to show you is it's not completely dark there, but it's getting closer. So we're flying closer to, or I'm flying closer to this neighborhood here with houses and light. And I'm actually surprised how good the quality is when you're getting close by. And remember that the camera is sort of being pushed around the air because it was very windy. It was there was a gust up to 18 meters per second, and if I remember correctly, this is calculated here. Yeah, 18 meters per second to kilometers an hour. That is 65 kilometers an hour that the wind was blowing. So let's just translate that into miles per hour. That's around 40 miles per hour wind speed. So that was getting significantly hard to control that flight. But look at this area. You can very easily see what's going on. It is a little bit blurry. Yes, it is. But that's probably because of the higher shutter speed. The lower shutter speed, of course, to be able to let in as much light as possible. But the footage is, I would say it's fairly usable. What do you think? Yeah, that's a big improvement over the original Mini. So, and this was like, I don't know, 10 minutes before it got really dark. So of course I have some footage where I have tried to record under completely dark circumstances. And let's see, where did I put it? This one. Yes. And as you can see, we're not getting much out of the camera here. It's pitch black. There's only some street light going on, and there are some houses with a little bit of lighting in it, but it's not anywhere useful. See, there's a car that drives down the road. So so if you're gonna fiddle around with this and gonna do something, then you need some artificial light that needs to sort of help the footage, because the gain that is built into this camera, this really small sensor, does not do much to help the low light performance. Let me just take this away. And I have a little footage from the day that I got the drone, where I didn't have not much other opportunity there to go out and film a little bit in my yard, to at least produce some footage with it. So let's just play that. That will also give you an idea of what you can expect. So let's go here. So there, this one. So here I'm messing around a little bit around my house. So just trying out to see what it looks like. So this is basically the type of low light performance that you can expect from the Mini with this type of sensor. Let's just go through the comments here and see. There's a lot of good comments here. So the first one is, let's see. It's from Byron Ramon here. So how is the loudness compared to the Mini 1? It's, yeah, I had them up flying at the same time. But I would not say that I can say any difference. I haven't measured them right now. I'm planning to do like a sound comparison video at some point to sort of get an idea how loud one is compared to the other. But I would say sound-wise, it's not super annoying. I know that's not a very good answer to your question, but it's not super annoying when you fly around with it. So I would expect it's around the same level as the original one. But we need to test that. We need to put it to its paces and see if this is how it actually is. So, and we have Gavin here. Gavin, if you don't know him, he's making a lot of Mavic, not Mavic, but Mini 2 videos. And he has been playing around with range extenders and all sorts of stuff. And maybe, Gavin, if you could post your link to your channel here, or post the link to your channel here in the chat, then I will make sure that it's visible so people can go check out your stuff. This one, have you altered any of the stock gimbal settings? I haven't been playing around with that yet. I will need a little bit more time to play with it and sort of figure out what is the best setting and what is not for the gimbal settings. But the cool part about the Mini 2 is that you get a separate set of parameters for each flight mode. So there's definitely ways of optimizing this, that's for sure. But right now I've been using the stock settings, and they have been pretty sufficient until now, because the weather has been so crappy here in Denmark. So the actual flight time that has been possible with the Mini so far for me has been quite limited. At least under good weather conditions, where I would sort of save the end result for something else. So, does the Mini 2 have follow me mode, or can it follow me somehow? The only way that the Mini 2 can follow you right now is that if you pick it up in your hand and carry it around. No, there's no follow me mode on the Mini as it is right now. There are people that are trying to convince that the square that's in the quick shot modes will follow you a little bit. And yeah, you can do that. But there are no native follow me modes in the Mini 2 as is right now. And you might be able to get it at some point. I don't know if DJI is going to release it, but at some point they will release access to the SDK. So I would expect that third-party apps like Litchi would be able to support it. And they offer some sort of follow me mode, at least for the Mavic Mini 1, the original Mavic Mini. You can do that with Litchi. So audio was a bit distorted. Peterson Tech, one of the true supporters of the channel here, is joining us on the chat. So that's really, really nice. I would have to look into that. Replaying those clips is kind of confusing because sound is coming out of the headphones and it's out of the speakers and all sorts of stuff. So sometimes it's a bit difficult to get that up and running. So, good question. How did you fix the camera on yourself? I actually did not. I have had it on a tripod out there, so I was just holding the remote in front of the camera. But I do have somewhere here. I do have this kit that I use sometimes, just sort of a harness that you put in front of you where you have like a traditional GoPro mount here. I don't have a GoPro here, so I can't really do it. And you simply just put it like that, and then you can put a GoPro here, like that. But I don't have the mount, so you simply just put that here. That's very handy for filming your hands and all sorts of stuff. And this is a very cheap harness. I bought that, I think, for less than $10 on some of the Chinese shops. So that's how you film yourself without hands. So let's see what else we have here. And there's no doubt that this drone is a really big improvement over the original Mini. Not saying that if you already have the Mini that you need to throw that away and then buy this one right away, because it's also, the first Mini is a very capable drone within limitations. But they made some really, really good things with the new Mini that you would really appreciate, especially the connection, the connectivity, and the wind resistance. I was, as I said, out flying today in very high wind, and I did appreciate the extra motor power when I had to deal with the drone being pushed out of position. That I actually don't know, but I would expect that there is some sort of discharge functionality in the new LiPo batteries, because if you store them fully charged, you will basically make them go bad in the long run. They don't like, LiPo batteries don't like to be fully charged or fully discharged when they're put on stock. So I would be surprised if there's not like but it takes like 10 days and at least in the previous models, it takes maybe 10 days for them to discharge down to a lower level. So, and I don't even think I had the drone for 10 days now. So, but I would keep an eye out for that, so we can definitely answer this. There is a question here: will the return to home work during pitch black darkness? And of course it will. It's not using the camera to get back home. It's using the GPS position, the GPS takeoff position. So it will definitely go back to that position. Have you tried long exposure shots at night? No, not. I haven't tried it yet, but this is definitely also on my to-do list. That would be pretty interesting to sort of test out if that is possible. You can do some pretty cool stuff with long exposure, no doubt about that. There's an interesting observation from Gavin here. Is the Mini does have a slightly different pitch in terms of sound. It also starts up and spins the props slower to avoid strain on them. This is definitely something Gavin have played around with a lot more than I have. So I will take his word for that, and I will definitely try it out myself, putting them up for a head-to-head sound test. One thing that I did notice is that it's pretty slow, and it has nothing to do with the sound, but it's pretty slow at locking onto the home point. So sometimes, yeah, that could be a problem. And it was completely unrelated to this to this answer. So let's see. I have not made a comparison. So the question is, any difference between the Mini and the DJI Mini 2 low light videos? There is probably a difference. I would expect there is a difference. But I haven't tested it head to head yet. That might be a good topic for a video. So let's see. Here is, have the Mini 2 also manual settings? Yes, it has exactly the same manual settings as the first one, both for video and photo. Hey, Sean. Yeah, you have been out flying in a crazy wind, and Sean has been doing some really, I think, thorough testing, at least from what he has been telling me, and he's editing a nice video about the high wind flying. And this is definitely something that I would recommend you guys checking out. And once that edit is up, then I would expect him to send me the link, and then I will post it below this live stream, so you can go check it out. Oh yeah. I know, I can have my logo. I don't know why I removed it. I removed it under the last stream. Let me just put it in again. Yeah. There. Now the logo is back in. Thank you for pointing this out. Let's see, did you send me something? Ooh, yeah. Let's see how I get that in there. So let's see. I've not tried this before sharing from the chat here. Let me see how I can do that. Just give me a sec. Then I will try to figure it out. Share the screen. So this is an interesting one. The temperature of the current environment is so low, continue may result in aircraft performance restrictions or safety hazards. Fly under the following conditions. It's not recommended. Oh, I haven't seen that warning yet, so I guess it must have been a lot more windier when you were flying. So let's just see. There was a video attached as well. And if you don't know Sean Oss, then you probably haven't seen much of the live streams that I've been doing. He sometimes joins me on these live streams and talk about different stuff. He's from Dillon, Colorado, and he lives in drone postcard country. So let's just go here. Man, that's busy. That's being pushed around a lot. So I wonder how high the wind velocity was during this clip. And with snow and cold and all sorts of stuff going on. Yeah, so that's a lot of wind. So let's move on here. So see here. So I'm getting late to the live. Not sure if it already asked. Do you think there will be some sort of firmware update for a flat profile video option since they added raw photos? That is hard to say. They can easily do it. It's a business decision from DJI if they want to offer this or not, if they want to offer us a flat profile. But I don't think this is the way that this drone is heading. So I wouldn't expect it, but I would, of course, be happy if DJI would consider it. So that's a tricky one because I know many of you are Mavic Mini owners, original owners. And my honest opinion about the Mini 2 is that I'm pretty surprised what the kind of upgrades that they could do to a drone that's less than 250 grams. I think the upgrades that you are getting are super great. And if I was about to buy my first drone, there wouldn't be no other drone that I would consider than the Mini 2 to get started with the hobby. It gets a little bit more tricky if you already own a Mini 1, because many of you are disappointed that DJI is already putting up an improved product only 1 year after the original launch. And I can easily understand that. I would say if I had the Mini 1, yeah, I do have the Mini 1, and I had to get the Mini 2 because I kind of do this kind of content for YouTube. But I'm not sure that I would jump on the bandwagon right away, because you can do a lot of the stuff that, at least if video is your main objective, you can do that with the Mini 1. And if you're not a guy that is into flying longer distances away from the takeoff point, then the Mini will do fine in most cases. Some of the things that I think will make me like the Mini 2 more is the panorama capabilities, at least the wide shot option that will allow you to take 9 individual photos and make the drone stitch it together to one big wide angle image. That's a pretty cool feature, and you won't be getting that with the Mini 1. If that is enough to upgrade, that's basically up to you to decide. So let's see. I get asked this question all the time, if you should upgrade. And I can't answer it for you because I don't know your needs. But I can at least tell you to watch some of my videos so you know what you're getting with the Mini 2, so you can make an educated decision. That one is an interesting one. Did you encounter unexpected tilt camera moves when you are in sport mode or even in standard mode with strong winds? Yes, I can confirm that. I have seen that. I've seen both, actually. In sport mode, you're getting this. There are some explanations that because the drone is capable of tilting to a steeper angle in sport mode, then the camera is not being able to compensate enough for that. So this is primarily the reason why you see it in sport mode. But I have seen it when flying sideways in strong winds as well, that is being knocked out of position. It's not a big deal, but you just need to work around it. I would say, how are the sensors to water? There are some pretty crazy stories about that drones are descending into the water when you're flying close to the water surface and all sorts of stuff. And I'm not saying that this is not happening, but I haven't seen any issues flying even down to maybe a couple of meters from the water surface. At least I've not seen any issues with that. So that kind of addresses. I've never tried flying really close, like 1 meter from the water surface. I always fly a couple of meters above, and I haven't seen any issues there. So let's see where we were. Yeah. Yes, stopping by. It's always nice when people stop by and say hi. The rest of you that's watching out there, I don't know how many we are. We are around 44 watching right now. So the rest of you that's out there, just jump in and say hi, maybe right where you're from. it's always nice for everybody to get acquainted in the chat. So, and this is confirmed by Gavin. He's seeing the same issues with his gimbal. So I guess they would have to either optimize the parameters for the gimbal. I don't know if they can do that, because the original Mavic Air was also prone to being pushed out of position, the gimbal, when you are flying in strong wind. And also, I guess the Mavic 2 Pro, that's also with the heavy camera, the heavy 1-inch sensor, it's also being pushed around. If you fly the drone really crazy, they'd have a hard time keeping the gimbal in position. How is Litchi working with the Mini 2? Not very good at the moment, because it's not supported. So let's see, I shared the clip, Sean. So that was really cool. Thank you for passing that on. Is it worth buying the DJI Refresh? That's always a difficult question as well, because that's depending on how dare you are. Because if the drone fails and you can prove it through the if you can prove it through the flight, I can't even say it. If you can prove it through the flight logs to DJI that the drone has failed, they will most likely replace it. So the times that I had issues, even though I had the Care Refresh, and I contacted DJI through the chat on the website, they have been very friendly and very open-minded to collaborate and get the stuff sorted without it costing me anything. So I would say, if you want peace of mind, then you should buy the Refresh. If you trust that you're flying responsibly, and if it fails, it's DJI's fault, and you can prove it to them, then you shouldn't buy it. I haven't bought it for this one. I decided not to do it. Yeah. So, yeah, I made one flight with the Mini 2, but found it quite annoying to get those tilt moves. And of course, it would be perfect if we could avoid having them. That's for sure. But you just need to work with what you got. But Jacob, you will be absolutely amazed by this drone and the capabilities that you can get out of it. It's a really nice first choice for a drone. That is true. Yes, the front arms and everything is a lot stiffer than it was on the original one. It's it feels more. It feels right. Yeah, and this is probably one of the biggest issues that DJI is getting right now, is that people are a little bit pissed that a new drone came out so soon after the first one was released. So let's see. There's a lot of questions here. It's really, really nice. So let's see, what is this? When I started to film on my Android smartphone, I noticed that the video feed got burned badly in the middle of the flight. I had turned the video cache download off. I'm not sure what you mean by that it's burned badly in the middle of the flight, but it stopped maybe. Yeah. Maybe you can clarify that a bit. So the Mini 2 all the way. Love the range it has, but is the range in C1 less than FCC in America? I think what you mean is the CE range less than the FCC in America. Yes, it is. On the box, it says 10 kilometer if it's an FCC mode, and if it's in CE mode, it's down to 6 kilometers. But regardless, that should be plenty for most of us. So let's see. Yeah. Let's see. So that's interesting. Why do you think? Hey, John, the FPV maestro in the house. Nice to see you. That's a good question, actually, because that was one of the predictions I made wrong about the Mini 2 was that the batteries would not. I predicted that the batteries would be different because I saw a lot of stuff that supported that theory, but I was pretty surprised to see that you could actually use the Mini 1 batteries in the Mini 2. I don't know why they decided to. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was a small bandage for the people that have bought the original Mini, because there's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't switch it. You'll probably end up with a drone that has a weaker performance than with the new LiPo batteries in the Mini 2. But apart from that, it's totally doable. So let's see. We are almost at the bottom. So if there's any more questions, then make sure to throw them in. Now is a good time. It's also a good time to hit the like button if you like some of the discussions that we had here today. Also, I would like to hear what you think about the new main camera. Do you like the looks and feel of that camera? So let's see here. I have the Mini since it came out and love it a lot. I use both video and camera for my work. Only reason I want the Mini 2 is for the photography features. Yes, and the photography features, they are pretty cool because you're also getting access to raw images with the Mini 2. So if you're into photography, there's basically no doubt that you should upgrade from the Mini 1 to the Mini 2. And I can only support that. 49 people watching, actually 51 people watching. And I don't know how many likes we have right now. Let me just go check here. Let's see. 31 likes. That's a lot of likes. The ratio is a lot better than it normally is. So that's pretty awesome. So, yes, cool live stream, some great YouTubers. So, Henrik, what's your next test of the Mini 2? Yes, and I totally agree that Gavin has done some really good ones. Yeah, I'm not really sure where I'm heading with this. I have recorded some low light performance video that I'm gonna edit at some point where I've been flying around at my father's place when it was kind of dark. It's a little bit along this, what you see here. And I also did a battery flight test that I'll be sharing at some point. And yeah, I guess I just need some more experience with the drone flying it, and I will do a review. I will do a proper review. Once I have a little bit more experience with it, I will summarize what I like and what I don't like about it. And of course, I will make a review about the drone. I'm not a big fan of these reviews that are being done basically the day after you got the drone, because you need to use the product for some time. at least to form a decent opinion that is worth sharing with you about the product. And I answered that earlier. No, it's not supported right now. Litchi does not support the Mini 2 right now. And as Juan says, it's not until DJI they actually decide when this is going to happen, because the software relies on the SDK, which is basically an interface that DJI exposes to the developers so they can write an app that will sort of be able to remote control the drone. So let's see. That's always a difficult one to answer, because what is a more professional video? There's no doubt that the video quality of the Mini 2 is supposed, at least on paper, to be better. You're getting the 4K capabilities. You're getting a bandwidth that goes from 40 up to 100 megabit per second. So the amount of data that's being transferred from the camera until the SD card is higher. How big the difference is real life, I actually made a comparison about that. And when this, if you're watching this on a replay, I will make sure to link that video up here, where I have recorded from exact same location video clips in both 4K for the Mini 2, and then 2.7K from the Mini 2 and from the Mini, and also 1080p. So you can exactly take that footage, download it from the Tech Drone Media website, pull it into your video editing tool, and then you can compare the difference between the two videos. And you will probably see that the difference is a lot less than what you would expect. So if you can do more professional videos with the Mini 2, I think that basically comes down to the remote controller, because you have much better control of your video, and the chance of getting some really cool shots with the Mini 2 is a lot bigger than it is with the Mini 1, because you have better control with the OcuSync. So, and that's another problem. And that is exactly correct. If you're using the original Mini batteries in your Mini 2, then the drone will exceed the 250 grams. And I weighed it on one of the previous live streams, and it is around 258 grams if you use the original Mini battery. So that would be exciting. I would be looking forward to that video. Definitely, Sean. That would be really cool. So, do you have any recommendations for strobe light for the Mini 2? No, I have actually not used strobe light for any of my drones at any time. So any recommendation from you guys for stuff that I need to look at would be nice, and I appreciate it. Yes. Up with the thumbs. So I'm not sure what the updates that we would like to have on the Mini. Everyone is talking about that they want this follow me mode, but I'm not sure that DJI they will give it to us. There was a suggestion earlier about maybe flat color profiles. That would be a really, really nice addition, and all the camera settings that you can get to optimize the footage could be nice if you could have customizable color profiles where you could adjust stuff like the contrast, saturation, and digital sharpness of the footage. But I don't think it's very likely that we will get it, because this is an entry-level drone, and the fact that we got RAW is kind of unusual, but it's probably because a lot of us have requested it, so DJI tries to meet that demand. So, do you prefer the Mini 1 or the Mini 2 case? I love the Mini 1 case. I think that's a really, really nice one. I think it's a really nice hard box, and I think it's very useful. So I really like that a lot. But the new bag, that kind of grew on me a little bit. I like it that you can just have it like this, and you can simply just grab in and take stuff from it, and that it has this man purse handle, so it's easy to carry along. So I would say yeah, I don't know. That's a hard choice if I had to pick it. Yeah, but I always like the Mini 1 case. So yeah. And unfortunately, we can't fit the Mini 2 into the Mini 1 case. So that kind of decides if we want to fly one or the other drone. Ooh, that was a super chat. Thank you, Sean, for the super chat. That's always appreciated. So there's an interesting question here, if they can fix the gimbal dipping with a firmware update. Yes and no. That depends. It's always a compromise. If it's the sport mode where it can tilt more like that causes the gimbal tilt, then I don't think that they will fix it in the firmware, because that will take away the capabilities of withstanding wind. So I don't think they will do that, but they might be able to do something with the sideward tilting. We have seen DJI pull off a lot of stuff, both good and bad, if they set their mind to it. John, you are very welcome. So there's a question here. I've seen many videos with the Mini where the gimbal tilts suddenly, and this is what I addressed before. We are multiple guys here on both on the chat and also me that have seen this issue, both when flying sport mode directly forward, that the gimbal gets tilted out of position, but also sideways. So that problem is definitely for real. So let's see here. That's regarding the case. The Mini 1 had a new case to carry it, so it was much better. So you replaced the Mini 1 case. So let's see. There's one here that is. So there still seem to be problems out there with the firmware. When DJI released the 1.2.0 firmware, a lot of you guys were seeing problems with your original Mini. And let's see, this is still the Mini, I would expect. So still dropping connection and crashed into a crane this morning due to cut out in the remote signal. Any more news on this? No, actually not, because from my side, it seemed to have fixed my issues. Maybe you should try to repair the control in the drone. I don't know, but at least it doesn't sound very good that you crashed into a crane. This is what happens when you are flying these Wi-Fi drones and the connection is getting unstable, is that you run into all sorts of problems. And this is my biggest gripe with the original one, is the connectivity. So maybe, I don't know, maybe Kyle, you should try and get out your flight logs and send those to DJI and support and hear what they're saying about this. And DroneLink has a lot of added functionality for the Mini 1. Yes, and the DroneLink is definitely on my to-do list to try and play around with that software. It seems you can even fly waypoint missions and stuff like that with DroneLink. So that's definitely a very interesting thing, interesting third-party software that will interact with the Mini 1. Ooh, another super chat. Thank you very much, sir. Really nice and very, very appreciated. So I also invited some from the Facebook group here to join us today on today's stream. So let's see. New with the Mini 2. Love your channel and info. Already helped me. Yes, I have so much to learn, and we all have. And that's the beauty about this hobby, is it has so many facets, and It's you have to learn about cameras, you have to learn about flying. You started out with the dream of flying a drone, and for many, this is not what it turns out to be the sort of the interesting part. The interesting part is actually what you can do with the camera. So it's a super fun hobby, and I can see new people coming along all the time. And don't be afraid to ask questions that are completely basic, because remember, we all started at zero at some point. So we need to learn this you could do a lot of stuff just by playing around. The most important is to get out flying, get some experience, record some footage, take it home, look at it with the objective eye, see, okay, is this actually nice looking footage or is it crap? You rarely say that it's crap when you recorded it yourself, but you need to somehow do that. And then you would see, if you look back 6 months from where you started and where you are 6 months later, that you have actually been doing a lot of improvements. And of course, you can also watch some of my videos that will probably also help you in the process. No doubt about that. Ooh, people are pouring in with super chats. That is so nice. Thank you, Gavin. I would really love to have you as a guest on the show, talking about the Mini 2 at some point if you have time. So let's see. You are absolutely welcome. I really enjoy this hobby, and I also enjoy these live streams. That gives me a chance to interact with you guys at a much different level than just through the comment section. It is kind of difficult for me sometimes to keep up with all the comments that are being posted below the videos. So I think I will be doing more of these kind of sessions where we can sort of hang out and I can answer questions directly. I just saw your comment below here, so I'm really flattered that that if people like you, Gavin, starts to decide a channel based on what you're seeing that I'm doing. So I highly encourage that, and of course I will support you the best way that I can, because the more the merrier. I don't see the Chrome space too crowded as it is right now. There's always an angle that you can cover that's different than what everybody else is doing. All right, I will round off this live stream for now. That would be the final word. Thank you all for participating here in today's live stream, and feel free to throw in additional questions, stuff we could do in future live streams in the comment section below this video. And I hope you like this stream. If you did, then feel free to give it a like. If you didn't like it, feel free to press the dislike button twice. Thank you for watching, and I'll be seeing you around.